So in this video, I'm going to be taking a deeper look into the arrests of Lucy Letby. Lucy Letby was arrested on 3 separate occasions, once in 2018, once in 2019, and finally in November of 2020. We will also be taking a closer look at the items which were recovered by police during their searches. Firstly, let's take a look at Lucy Letby's first arrest, which took place at around 6 AM on July the 3rd, 2018. A nurse arrested on suspicion of murdering 8 babies at a UK hospital has been released on bail. Detectives in Cheshire questioned Lucy Letby for 3 days before she was released on Friday morning. The 28-year-old was arrested on Tuesday as part of a year-long investigation into the deaths of babies at the Countess of Chester Hospital's neonatal unit in 2015 and 2016. Letby was held on suspicion of the murder of 8 babies and the attempted murder of 6 others. She has not been charged. Police said she had been bailed pending further inquiries. Quote, "We continue to recognise that this investigation has a huge impact on all of the families, staff and patients at the hospital, as well as members of the public. Parents of all the babies continue to be kept fully updated and are being supported throughout the process by specially trained officers." The force said the investigation was ongoing and there were no set timescales for progress. A spokesman for the Countess of Chester Hospital said, quote, "We are continuing to support Cheshire Police with their ongoing investigation. In line with the Trust's current policies, the member of staff involved will not be returning to work while this matter is ongoing. We will not be commenting further at this time." Letby, who had worked at the hospital for 7 years and had been training to work with babies in intensive care, was detained as part of an investigation into 17 deaths and 15 non-fatal collapses of babies between March 2015 and July 2016. It is understood she was suspended 12 months ago, and before this she had been removed from clinical duties and placed into an administrative role. After her arrest, the investigation was widened to include Liverpool Women's Hospital, where Letby did some training. Liverpool Women's NHS Trust confirmed it was cooperating with the inquiry. On Friday, police continued to search Letby's semi-detached home in Blacon. Neighbours said a silver Suzuki car with an NHS parking permit in the windscreen was moved at 4:30 AM. The vehicle had been moved to a neighbouring driveway on Tuesday to clear a space to erect a blue forensics tent which remains in place. In the afternoon, officers wearing white suits and blue gloves were seen carrying pieces of wood out of the property and digging up the back garden. Forensic teams were also seen conducting a fingertip search of the property, focusing on drains, window ledges and the front garden and garage. Okay, so just to provide you with some additional information concerning Lucy Letby's first arrest, Lucy Letby was initially arrested on July the 3rd, 2018, and between July the 3rd and July the 5th, Lucy Letby was interviewed a total of 13 times. Another point worthy of mention is that once Lucy Letby was questioned and released, she was told she wasn't allowed to return to her Chester home and would be bailed to her parents' property in Hereford. So what I'm going to do for you now is run you through some more details concerning the initial arrest and also expand a little bit more on some of the items recovered during the original search. A distressed Lucy Letby wiped away tears as photographs of her bedroom taken by a crime scene investigator were shown in court. On the bedroom walls there were 2 framed pictures containing the slogans "Shine like a diamond" and "Leave sparkles wherever you go." 2 teddy bears were positioned on an unmade double bed, while among the items on the floor were a red suitcase, a large burgundy handbag and a small black handbag. Prosecutor Philip Asprey said 3 handwritten notes were recovered by police from one of the handbags. The notes contained closely written words which filled the pages and included declarations of love for a doctor colleague. Next to his name was "I loved you and my best friend." Also contained in the notes were the words "Help me, I can't do this anymore, and how can life be this way?" Jurors were told that a 2016 diary was recovered from a chest of drawers. A reference to, quote, twins was recorded for April 8th, the date of birth for 2 twin boys the Crown say Letby attempted to murder. On April 9th, a note stating twin resus was made. Further entries on June 23rd, 24th and 25th included initial letters which the Crown say related to 3 other babies, including 2 triplet boys, that Letby allegedly attacked on those dates following her return from a holiday to Ibiza. Part of the note read, "I don't deserve to live. I killed them on purpose because I'm not good enough to care for them. I am a horrible, evil person." And in capital letters, "I am evil, I did this." An A4 size piece of paper containing similarly jumbled handwritten notes was also found in the diary the court heard. One sentence read, "I killed them. I don't know if I killed them. Maybe I did. Maybe this is down to me." The words "kill me" written in bold and circled could also be seen. Other words appearing on the A4 paper were, quote, "foreign objects, slander, tired, crime number, diagnosis compromised, risk factors, and repeatedly, help me." Underneath her bed, an Ibiza bag for life was found, which contained 4 shift handover sheets for the dates of June 23rd, June 24th, June 25th, and June 28th, 2016. Also in the bag was her NHS registered children's nurse work badge. A Morrison's shopping bag recovered from the bedroom contained 31 handover sheets, a blood gas reading for a child she allegedly attacked, and a paper towel containing handwritten resuscitation notes. Searches also took place on July 3rd, 2018 at Letby's parents' home in Hereford and at the defendant's workplace at the hospital's Risk and Patient Safety Office. An annual leave request form from Letby, covered with untidily written jumbled words, was found in a blue folder. Hearts were doodled on the form along with random words, quote, "Tigger, Smudge, Bergerac and help me." Sentences scrawled across the form included, "I trusted you with everything and loved you. I really can't do this anymore. I just want life to be as it was. I want to be happy in the job that I loved. Really don't belong anywhere. I'm a problem to those who do know me, and it would be much easier for everyone if I just went away." Okay, I'm just going to cut in here briefly because the next part is actually quite interesting. Bearing in mind we're reading here from an article written by the Chester Standard, and it states the following. A search of the garage at the Westbourne Road property on June 10th revealed another handwritten note found in a black bin bag. Phrases on that note included "killing me softly, broken-hearted, and no one will ever know what happened or why." 6 pages of medical notes of children unrelated to the trial were found at her parents' home on the same date. A total of 257 handover sheets were recovered during searches in the investigation, of which 21 included the names of babies she is alleged to have harmed. Okay, so having stepped back and thought about this in a bit more detail, I'm going to try and explain to you exactly what I'm getting at here. Now, according to this article in the Chester Standard, a note was found in a black bin liner at Lucy Letby's Chester address during the second arrest. So we've got the first arrest, July the 3rd, 2018. The second arrest, June the 10th, 2019. And it states the following there. A search of the garage at the Westbourne Road property on June the 10th revealed another handwritten note found in a black bin bag. So just to clarify, the Westbourne Road property is the one in Chester. That is the one that Lucy Letby was living in during her first arrest, and then she was bailed to reside at her parents' property in Hereford. Also interestingly, it mentions the following. 6 pages of medical notes of children unrelated to the trial were found at her parents' home on the same date. Now, we were told earlier on in this article that not only was the home of Lucy Letby in Chester on Westbourne Road searched, but also the home address of Lucy Letby's parents in Hereford, and also where Lucy Letby was working at the hospital. All of these 3 locations were searched during her first arrest. Again, this was on July the 3rd, 2018. So between that date and June the 10th of the following year, June the 10th of 2019, a note has appeared in a bin liner in Lucy Letby's garage, and medical paperwork has found its way to Lucy Letby's parents' address in Hereford. So there's clearly been some sort of exchange in paperwork during this time period. Now, the only way that I can explain this would be that if Lucy Letby's bail conditions were simply that you cannot reside at the property in Chester, but you can visit there. Is it possible that she was able to visit the home, take some paperwork from there and, take it back to her parents' home and drop a bin bag off in the garage? I guess that's the most likely explanation. But anyway, let's now move on in a bit more detail to Lucy Letby's second arrest. The following piece is from The Guardian, dated the 13th of June 2019, and it states the following. A nurse who was rearrested on suspicion of the murders of 8 babies at a hospital neonatal unit has been released on bail. Lucy Letby, 29, was initially arrested last July on suspicion of 8 murders and the attempted murder of 6 other infants as part of a police inquiry into deaths at the Countess of Chester Hospital. She was rearrested on Monday on suspicion of those offences and in connection with the suspected attempted murder of 3 more babies. On Thursday, a Cheshire police spokesman said Letby had been bailed pending further inquiries. Police carried out searches this week at Letby's home in the Blacon area of Chester. A blue forensic tent could be seen outside the property. DI Paul Hughes, who is in charge of the inquiry, said, quote, "I would like to remind people that due to the nature of this investigation, it is extremely challenging and remains very much active and ongoing. There are no set timescales for this, and we would ask people to bear with us whilst we continue with our inquiries. We remain committed to carrying out a thorough investigation as soon as possible, and I want to reassure people that we are doing everything we can, as quickly as we can, to identify what has led to these baby deaths and collapses." Detectives launched an investigation in May 2017, initially looking at the deaths of 15 babies between June 2015 and June 2016. The inquiry has since widened, and police are currently investigating the deaths of 17 babies and 16 non-fatal collapses between March 2015 and July 2016. Letby, originally from Hereford, has been on bail since last July, before her arrest this week. Okay, so just some additional facts to add on concerning Lucy Letby's second arrest. So Lucy Letby was arrested for the second time at her parents' address in Hereford, where she was then interviewed a total of 14 times across June the 10th to June the 12th, 2019. Also worthy of note there is that again her home address in Chester was searched, along with her parents' address in Hereford. Let's now move on to the third and final arrest of Lucy Letby. The following piece was written by The Guardian on November the 12th, 2020, and it states the following. A nurse accused of killing 8 babies at a hospital neonatal unit has been remanded in custody after appearing in court via video link. Lucy Letby sat at a desk beside her solicitor and only spoke at the 12-minute hearing to give her name, address and date of birth. She also faces 10 charges of attempted murder. All the offences are alleged to have been carried out between June 2015 and June 2016. Letby's lawyer Richard Thomas made no application for bail as he sat beside her throughout the hearing in a police station in Chester. The nurse from Hereford was originally arrested in 2018 and again in 2019, but was bailed pending further inquiries. She was rearrested on Tuesday on suspicion of murdering 8 babies and attempting to murder a further 9 as part of the investigation into the Countess of Chester Hospital, which began in 2017. Only 2 members of the press were allowed into the courtroom. A dozen more in an annex courtroom next door watched via video link. Families of the victims were also watching the proceedings via the same link at remote locations. Okay, so just one final piece of information to add regarding Lucy Letby's last arrest. Now, she was last arrested on November the 10th, 2020, where she was then interviewed a further 3 times between November the 10th and November the 11th, 2020. Anyway, if you found this video interesting or helpful, please don't forget to subscribe down below. Give the video a thumbs up before you leave. And as always, many thanks for joining me for this one. I look forward to seeing you all again for the next video. Take care. Cheers.